What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Shooky from Shook Earth Gaming, and today we're doing a reaction video to a Silent Hill 2 remake interview. We reacted to another interview with some confusing statements about potentially making changes for contemporary audiences, and I just wanted to reassure people with a further video, because my theory on that last one was they were talking about graphical changes, and here in this video we go even further in depth into what they exactly mean by modern day changes. And I think it's really interesting. I think this interview made me feel 100% confident in this project. I don't know if I'm being naive or what, or just a fanboy or whatever, but I mean, we got this interview with Masahiro Ito and Akira Yamaoka. I'm probably saying the names wrong, but Masahiro was the concept artist who designed a lot of the creatures in the original game, and Akira, of course, is the amazing composer, one of the best video game soundtracks of all time. I have it on CD behind me, but you can't see it on camera, but it's over there. And these two guys, I have full confidence in them as creators, so I'm really looking forward to this project. But this interview here, it really encouraged me, so I want to take you guys on that journey with me. But if you guys like Silent Hill and other games and horror games like that, definitely hit the sub button. I hope to hear your opinions down below. So let's react to this interview. It's with IGN. It's translated in the subtitles, so you got to read the subtitles to hear what they're saying. But I will be talking over the video, so I won't be pausing a lot. So we're just going to watch this through. So seeing the trailer again, the footage, it looks better and better every time I look at it. This guy's a producer from Konami. He seems like the guy who's in charge of bringing Silent Hill back. And I previously said Konami's just in for the money. This guy seems like he actually cares. He's talking about here how they need to re-identify Silent Hill as a brand, and it can't just be one remake. That's not big enough. So they need to diversify, have multiple projects. And he understands the influence culturally and in the video game sphere of Silent Hill 2, and the fact that dozens and dozens and dozens of horror games, pretty much every horror game since it came out, was influenced by it. So this producer at Konami has some confidence from me, you know. I feel reasonable about it. Now this guy, the concept artist, Masahiro here, he's saying that he's in charge of combat design, which I find interesting, and that's one of the changes for the modern day that they are doing, is that they need to change how the monsters move so that it's more responsive combat. They need to, of course, show all with the full HD graphics that we have now. You can't get away with, you know, just not showing injuries, points of injury, not having the attack hit the player in a smooth animation that looks realistic. You know, I mean, as realistic as a fantasy like this is going to look. But here he's talking about how Bloober Team cares about it, and the producer even goes on to say that he thinks they have an excessive amount of respect for the original. So yeah, they're talking about making the combat more interesting. Of course, we got to have dodges or attacks to dodge. Maybe they're going to enhance the combat here, so they need to make the moveset animations match how they make design the combat. So it's essential to preserve the original design. He's saying here it looks similar, but it's very different because it has to change all the animations to accommodate the new combat style, which you would expect, of course. So yeah, we're hearing, I don't know if we're hearing new music. It sounds familiar to me. Akira here is coming in and saying that he is responsible for the music in the game. He did work on sound effects in the original, he clarifies, but it sounds like he's not working on that on this one, and he's just focusing on remaking the music. Now, this man here is Silent Hill, as far as I'm concerned. His music is like the core, emotional core of the series, and it's like so defining in terms of people's emotional experience of the memories of Silent Hill. The music is such a huge part of that. And here he's saying, as a creator, he is not always content just to, oh, I'm just going to make an acoustic version. I'm just going to make an orchestral version. He doesn't like doing all these different versions. He's a guy, he wants to create something new. But he's talking about how there are themes in the original that players really connected with emotionally, and he wants to preserve that feeling and enhance it. So it sounds like he is looking to make a new version. Like it's going to be different, and I have full confidence in this man. Don't question this man. Let him do what he wants. Anything, literally anything. I didn't say this before, but I should have. Bro, I will buy this game just for the soundtrack. I don't give a fuck. Like, the rest of the game could suck, bro. If the soundtrack is good, which I know it's not gonna be. There's no universe where this soundtrack is bad. I can't see it happening. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm being naive again. But yeah. But here's an interesting little tidbit. Something they're changing. And the fact that we're seeing their thought process of how they are going about doing changes. They're changing the monsters because, not for any story reason, but because we need combat, and we need to change the designs to match our new design. You know, and here they're talking about they decided to raise the age of James Sunderland to make him more middle-aged, so he's experienced more of life. And they're talking about they did that because this is a game from 20 years ago. The people who know the game are older now. The average age of a gamer is older now. I didn't even know that James was younger in the original. Of course, they mentioned that you can't see the detail in the skin. You can't tell how old somebody is in a video game from that era because of how low fidelity it is. They say that everybody has smooth skin. You can't get into that finer detail, see the wrinkles and stuff. In the way you can now. So they did decide to make him look a little older. So he's middle-aged now, and I think it's a great change. I didn't even know he wasn't middle-aged before. Like I said, and here's the thing, like, if this is their thought process, how they approach making changes, I have full confidence in this project. This is the most encouraging interview I think I might have ever seen. So here he's talking about how the graphical limitations of the time, people filled in with their imagination some of the gaps, and they are trying to fill those gaps for us, basically, with these new remastered graphics. And I mean, just the insane level of detail on the textures, and the way that light plays through the fog, I think, is going to be amazing. I'm excited to see the effects unfurling in front of me. The lighting effects, I mean, you can see things in the environment being illuminated, and see how detailed some of the grungy environments are. I'm really excited just to be able to walk around and experience it, and that's what he's talking about. He says that the atmosphere and scenery is preserved, and here, Ito here is talking about how some people are worried that graphics, updated graphics, might distract from the atmosphere. But he's trying to reassure us that no, it's going to enhance it. And it's enhancing it so much that we're going full next gen. We're not doing PlayStation 4 version. They mentioned that. They want to go for this HD 4K quality. So that's what the producer goes on to say here. So I do agree that, you know, the atmosphere before, there's a lot of suggestion. And you don't want to lose that element. You want people to play with their imaginations. That's what makes the fog scary, is because you're imagining what could be beyond it, and you don't know. It's the uncertainty. So that we're gonna need that, and I think they know that. So yeah, but again, I think that more realistic graphics, a more grounded world. You know, this in terms of suspense and atmosphere, I think the sound design does the heavy lifting. But I think that just having a more detailed, rich world just immerses you all the more. So, you know, that I have, again, I'm feeling encouraged by this interview. Yeah, Akira's saying he's a fan of the series and wants to keep it going. He's the one guy who's been consistent the whole time, even the spin-offs that Konami didn't develop themselves, the movies. You know, he's worked on pretty much all the Silent Hill games except for Downpour. And I don't think he did the second movie. And that scene right there, I do want to actually pause here, because this part, I remember seeing it in the trailer, but now that I see it again, we just read an interview where a producer was asked about the Pyramid Head in the kitchen scene and whether it would be in the game or whether they would change it for modern sensibilities. And I said that would be stupid. And I think that the developers agree that that would be stupid, because this is the scene right here. This is it. So it's in the game, or at least it's in the trailer. So, you know, if it gets cut later, maybe, but it seems to me like they're preserving that part. So again, that's another thing I was worried about. I'm not worried about it anymore. He wants the series to continue. I love that. Yeah, he's focused on this one particular game. It sounds like he doesn't know much about what's going on with the franchise in general. I think we can skip forward a little bit here. But yeah, they're talking about how they want the series to be more diverse, and that, you know, the trigger alarm's going off because how we use those words in the States. Usually that means certain political things, right? But in this case, it just means they want different types of games, which is exactly what we need. So we got a Japanese-style Silent Hill F. We've talked about this before. Really excited to see what they do with Silent Hill. It doesn't take place in Silent Hill. You know, it's somewhere else. We've only had that in Silent Hill 4 before. And this is the adventure game that's looking pretty good, looking pretty scary. So, and then they talk about the movie that's coming out. You know, I don't have too much confidence in that because I didn't care for the director who did the first one. The effects were good. I don't care for the story as much. So yeah, he said it's not enough to be a series revival if it's just one remake. And I like where his mind is at. The only project that they've announced I have zero confidence in is Ascension, because that's developed by the people who made The Walking Dead Last Mile, which is basically just a very basic mobile game with really... It's an okay story, but it's kind of bare bones. Not really detailed, just basic, boring minigames, and I don't see them doing too much with that. With Silent Hill, it just feels like a weird fit. But this right here, I do like I said, I like the setting, I like the look. I'm a little concerned about the vine things that we see, because that's from the movie. That's not in the games. So I don't like bringing stuff from the movies into the games. It's one of the problems I have with Homecoming, even though I like Homecoming altogether. I'd rather keep it. Yeah, we'll see what happens when the game comes out. Maybe it's just the aesthetic they take. So he's talking about the fact that they can get more pitches now because it's not a secret. They don't have to keep it secret anymore, and they're encouraging people to continue pitching projects to them. They said there were other people that were approached, and the projects fell through. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the interview. So, like I said, I'm extremely encouraged by this interview. I have full confidence in this project. And if it doesn't turn out good, it's going to be like for technical reasons or glitches or something like that. In terms of the artistic vision and what we're going for here, the fact they want to revive a whole franchise with this, I don't think they're going to want to half-ass it. So I have full confidence in this project. If you disagree, let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to hear from you. And with that, it's been your boy Shuggy, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, everybody. Peace out.